All right, I'm back. So usually with me, like before I started buying PS2 cases or carry cases or travel cases, I just collected backpacks. I have a lot of backpacks, only for when like if ever I have to move, or if I want to go on vacation or whatever, and I wanted to take a console with me, I can use a backpack. So I have like 8 or 9 backpacks, and I have like at least 5 fat PS2s. One slim. I plan on buying 2 more slims. So just as a console storage case, I guess it's okay. It's okay, but like I said, with me, I it's good for just storing a console by itself, or for the slim, maybe with the brick. Traveling, if you're going to travel with this, you might as well carry 2 bags because unless you're the kind of person that likes to wrap their cords around the controller, you're not going to fit everything in there. So you're better off just carrying this with a backpack or something. Like having your console in here and then a backpack or a bag, whatever. Or if you want, just carry the entire thing in a backpack rather than use the case. So I don't know what to give. So I guess maybe a 2 out of 5. I guess if I had to, because like I said, the slits for holding disc, I'm not that kind of guy. I like to keep my games whole. I don't like to just take them out of the disc. So although I guess it's kind of anyway. That's a strike against it. Uh, the whole playing it without taking it out of the case, I mean, it's kind of false because you need to unstrap this and open it, and you can either open it from the inside or you can stick your finger through the little case's slits and open it like that. So that's a strike against it. You can just barely play it without taking it out of the case. I mean, you're going to have to unzipping it and, you know, so anyway, on to this system. This system, or sorry, not system, this case, I was actually kind of worried when I bought this because I unboxed this one first, and I was like, oh no, I screwed up. And I was thinking the same thing for this one. I thought maybe I bought 2 of these small ones by accident or whatever. And I'm glad that wasn't the case. I was kind of wondering why this box was bigger than this box. This didn't come with a box like this. It just came inside of a regular old brown box. Uh, this one sports some of the same features, or whatever. You can play this console without taking it out of the case. This is more practical. That's why I bought this one, because when I read the description, oh, you can play it without taking it out of the case, I just assumed, well, that's got to be for a fat model, because for a slim PS2, you have to at least open it somewhat to open, it's a top loader. This is more, it makes more sense. You can't really see it, but there's a little more space. There's almost plenty of space for you to fit your memory card and your controller. Here's the problem. Right here's the first problem I see. I don't know if the let's see here. I don't even think this thing can open. Yeah, you can't really play this one without taking it out of the case, because there's really not enough space for the tray to open. So you'd have to take this out of the case. So that's a strike against this one. Although I don't really think the seller mentioned that in his description, but you can kind of tell that this was kind of based off of this one. So, I mean, I don't know. So that's one strike against it already. Same thing as the other bag. There's a spot for your. Hang on a second. There's a spot for your memory cards. See, or your memory cards. Come on, stay still. Memory card spots. There's this one, that one. There's 4 of them, and there's also a spot for your games. If you feel like, taking them out of the case and putting them in these little slits. Sorry about the quality of my camera. If you don't like it, you can, do whatever, leave or whatever. So yeah, you can put your game disc in these things right here. So it's also a strike against it because I'm not the kind of person that would want to do that. I like to buy my games or keep my games complete. I mean, PS2 games they're not as common as they once were, but it's not impossible to get a game that doesn't come with at least the case, if not the booklet and everything else. And yeah, I can kind of tell, in my personal opinion, these weren't really made for collectors or hardcore collectors, people that like everything, like their games come with everything. These are just made for maybe people who just, don't mind, just having discs of games rather than games in cases or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, especially now, since, PS2 games are kind of scarce, anywhere aside from on the internet. There's nothing wrong with that. People that are obsessed with PS2, like myself, and its games, I really can't use a feature like that, disc slots or whatever. I'd rather just, keep my games somewhere, keep them in the cases. So this space, because the bag is bigger, is a little more spacious on the inside than that spot, than that case, or than that slot. So as a game storage device, I don't really see much room for you to put your console, or for you to put a controller in. So I have to take a strike off of that as well. I guess I gave both of these bags a 2 out of 5. Now, just as a game storage case, as a PS2 storage case, it was still, it still really isn't much better than this one. It's bigger because the fat model PS2 is bigger. It can't really store your it can store your PS2, but like I said, I like to store, if I'm going to store a PS2 away, I like to store it with at least, I like to store a complete PS2 away. And my version of a complete console or PS2 would be with the controller, meaning PS2 composite cables, adapter, and at least one controller, and maybe a memory card. It can hold all of those things except for the controller. So as a storage device, or even or a storage bag, it's not all that great. Now a travel bag, both of these, I guess they kind of pass, because when it's time for me to move, I will probably just have a designated bag that I keep all my controllers in. Probably not. I'll probably just, I don't know. These are good for holding consoles, and not really, they're good for holding consoles and everything but the controller, because they just can't. That's kind of my review. I have another bag I want to review real quick. I'm not going to bother putting everything in it. That's just ridiculous. I've already used this one once on vacation. I just got back from vacation a few weeks ago. This bag right here, however, this bag is pretty good. This is the first PS2 bag that I purchased, and I will talk about that in my next video. Be right back.